If you want to see me swatch the Naked Honey from Urban Decay, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, we are going to swatch the Naked Honey today. It is a palette that's been out for a while, but I have not touched it. And part of why I didn't touch it was because it doesn't feel like a summer palette to me. It feels more like a fall winter palette to me, and also kind of gives me some Christmas vibes. And so that's kind of too bad because it has been sitting there for a little while in my collection. It does come with a brush. It is not the same as the brush in the Naked Cherry. It's more like the brush for the traditional Naked palettes. It's got a flatter packer side and then a fluffier side for blending and in the crease. And it came with a protector, of course. I'm going to put this brush aside because we don't need it right now. So let's take a look at the palette, and it is half mattes and shimmers or metallics. And I really got the palette, I will be honest, for these three right here. Of course, the other complementary colors work, but I'm always drawn to what lid colors I will be able to wear. And these, when I saw them in person at Sephora in Winnipeg, which is where I live, I was completely taken in. So let's do this. I usually swatch with these 3 fingers, and there are 14 shadows, so that's 3.5 passes. And I do double swatches as well, and I will do them on this arm. They should all fit. And so let's get right into the swatches. So I have the first 3 here: Flyby, Sweet, and Swarm. I really enjoy the names. They're so on theme. And the mattes pick up really nicely. And here are the fingers. They are very dry apparently today. Okay, here we go. Flyby, Sweet, and Swarm. Very easy workable mattes. And gosh, my fingers are so dry today. Let's go for the second go at the swatches. And here we go. Flyby, Sweet, and Swarm. Here we go. Now I do like to show the shadows on the fingers, but my fingers are so dry. I think what I'm going to do is just stop right there, wash them and put a little bit of lotion on so that they're not as kind of dry and cracky. And then you'll be able to see when we get to the shimmers that effect on the finger, because I think that the roundness of the finger shows better how it will show on the eye. So I will be right back. Okay, that did not take long, and my fingers feel a whole lot different now, but they don't feel greasy at all. It was just removing that really dry, the dry feeling on my hands, and so I think that we are good. I do think that this one got a little bit wiped away, so I'm going to do Flyby just one more time. I've never had to do a re-swatch, but it really did get wiped off. So here we go. Okay, so for the first 3 we've got, and we're going to go now into the next 3, which are Amber, Keeper, and Golden. Amber looks so good. Keeper and Golden. Oh yeah. Amber, Keeper, and Golden. Oh, look at that color, right? Those shimmers don't really need a second swatch, but we will do that. I'm so glad I took a second to fix my hand situation. The colors are showing so much better. They're deeper, but it really did make a difference. So here's the second go. Amber, Keeper, and Golden. Oh, ho, ho. Look at those colors. Very nice, very, very nice. Just going to wipe my fingers. Now, I did hear a number of folks over the last number of months talk about the Naked Honey and its similarities to the Warrior palette. And so I thought I should mention it because every time they mention it, I kind of go, yeah, you know, I think you would only need one or the other because the theme is very, very similar. And Juvia's Place has some pretty amazing eyeshadows, I have to say. Well, actually, I'm wearing two of Juvia's Place today, so yeah. Okay, so we have 6 done. We have half the palette. We're going into the other 2 in the trio that had me super excited. So we have Honey, Queen, and Hive. Honey, Queen, and Hive. Honey and Queen, I know I'm going to be in that palette for those 2. Gosh. This one has my heart for sure. Honey, Queen, and Hive. Pretty good on the first go. Here are the fingers. And let's do the second pass. I really like Honey. And there's a little bit of a green undertone to Queen that I just love. There's a brassiness, a little bit of green. Yeah, gosh, they're beautiful. Yeah. Honey. Queen. And Queen has that lovely tackiness that you know is just going to make something look so good on the eye. And Hive. I love that. I really, really do. Okay. Oh, and here I thought it was 14 shadows. It's actually 12 because I thought, hey, I only have 3 left and the math wouldn't work otherwise. So it is 12 shadows, not 14. Oh, I know why I was thinking 14. I have been thinking Anastasia palettes a lot recently, and so that's why I was thinking 14. It is 12. It is 12. Okay, so we have Drip, HBIC, and Sting. Drip, HBIC, and Sting. And here we go. Drip, HBIC. Oh, very nice. And Sting. And we're going to do one last pass with these. The mattes are really finely milled. I love that. Drip, HBIC, and Sting. Okay. Take a close look at all of these. All right, now let's take a look, because the swatches are always a bit different from what is showing up in the pen. So I knew that I would like these three quite a bit. My favorite definitely is Queen. I think that Honey is a little bit lackluster, but I do believe that if I were to go and do just one last swatch of it on top, that it is buildable. It just seems to have almost like a, not a transparent base, I wouldn't go that far, but a lighter base than the other ones. And I wonder if it's a topper to a certain extent. No, I just think it just needed a little bit more love. And it is a lighter color. But if I'm looking at it, Queen is definitely my favorite. But for an inner lid punch, I would definitely go for one of these two. Possibly this one if I'm looking for a lighter color, but for a look using some colors like this, I'm more likely to go into my Naked 3, to be quite frank, or possibly the lighter side of the Naked Heat. I'll say, if you are not enamored with these three colors and you have the Naked Heat, I would say you probably have most of this palette. I mean, there probably isn't true overlap, but the feel of the look would be quite similar. What you're trying to get across would be quite similar. But I'll say that these are interesting enough to me. But I will also say that I'm really happy I got it for half off, because a number of these shadows are not shadows that I really need in my collection. I was just really, really excited about these gold shadows and had talked myself out of the Natasha Denona gold. But I thought 32 Canadian I can justify, or was it 34? 34 Canadian I can justify getting the Naked Honey. And of course, if I'm going for these shadows, is it likely that I'm going to use other shadows in the palette? Sure. I don't see why I would go to another palette for some neutrals. Obviously, I'll just use what's in this palette. But yeah, these look like just perfect complement. And I do think, though, that I'm more likely to use this palette in the fall and winter, because it's just the vibe that I get from it. And this shadow reminds me of a shadow in the Chocolate Bar palette, Gilded Ganache, that looks fantastic on the eye, at least for my eye color and shape. And I think that that's why I'm so drawn to Queen, because it does remind me of Gilded Ganache. But other than that, I'm going to say I'm happy that I have this palette. I think the packaging is absolutely gorgeous. I'm happy with the brush that came with it. It is different from the other brush that I have been looking at recently, which is the Naked Cherry, just to show you. Very different. And I think it is a good addition to my collection, and yeah, I'm looking forward to using it. I don't think that I'll be heavy duty dipping into this palette over the summer, but definitely it will come to mind as September-ish starts to roll around. So yeah, looking forward to it, and I hope you enjoyed the swatches. Let me know what you think of this palette. Have you purchased the palette? I'd be very curious. Let me know what you think. And with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.